Okay, so the Mini, it's moving on very good. We've now got the engine working. We know we've got all the other bits all done. The back end's done. The exhaust is in. Everything's nearly ready to go. The only thing left to do now is the window regulator needs to be put in, and then also the plastics as well need to be put on as well. So that's the last two jobs, and then it's ready for its MOT. So let's see how we got with that lot, shall we? Okay, so I've broken the top off of some of these, so I need to do something about that. Bit of a weird one, they're quite large, aren't they? And I think they're a couple of quid each, and I've broken quite a few of them, in fact all of them. So what I've been doing is I've just been putting them in the vise and drilling a little hole. And then putting a screw with a washer on. So I can make use of the old ones. So let's just run a little screw. So I've just been finding a little screw like this, a little washer. Oh, there we go, there goes the washer. So a little screw, a little washer. So that on there like that. And a screw driver. Pop. And that's how I've been getting around the problem. Say I've broken pretty much all of those when I took it off, so it's a bit of a mission, but there you go. So that's the repaired one, and that's going to go in here, like so. That fits in there, that fits in there. Two more just at the back, need to get those. Oh. Two more in there. That. Oh. Oh. For this one. That was easy. Leave those out yet, because I've got to slot one in behind those stuff. But they're ready to go. Yeah. That's all in, isn't it? Lovely. And we're just going to put these metal pieces back in with the bolt there. That's that brace underneath that sort of strengthens it, because it's a convertible. There's an arm that comes out and connects to the sill. So I had to have that undone. Right, that's pretty good. Now for the wheel arch liner and then the back piece of trim. Right, so there are two little bolts, plastic headed nuts really, on here, which are like almost like a little threaded piece on the inside. So just get those out a second. And I'll show you what they are. We had them also underneath for some of the other bits of trim there. They're just a little nut which has a washer built in it, but made out of plastic, and they hold the arch liner up sort of fore and aft here. Another one here. When I was taking it out, I didn't actually have to remove it fully. I could just undo it enough just to tease it out. in the slots, but I think putting it back on, it'll be easier to just take them right out and start again. Right, so that's that. Now, the liner itself, it has got these two slots here and here, which will mounted on those two nuts. This one looks a bit worse for wear, so I might put a bigger washer on that when I come to put it on. But I'm just going to offer it up and see if I can wedge it in there first. So let's see how that's going to pan out. Right way first. So, just tucks in here. This all seems to go underneath at the back here, so that's a way to have it. And then these little things there you go, that went in there, went in there, that went in there. That's pretty much all lined up. Okay, let's show you that. So the reason I haven't clicked this piece fully back in, because this goes behind it. So I've left this piece hanging out for the moment. So it goes in here, the holes line up here and here, here and here, and I don't know if I can show you those two little lugs. Let's reverse the camera, maybe we can make that work. Right, so let's see, there you go. So you've got one lug here and one lug, oh, where's it gone? My own light's getting in the way. One lug there, look, so just here. Well, this is weird, trying to use the camera back to front and upside down. It's a bit of a weird one. But there you can see just ahead of it there. Right, so let's try and find some fittings and bung it in the hole. Okay, so this is what we're using. We're going to use, they were similar to these, like a push rivet. So that can go in the hole there. Plop. And then the insert goes in and pushes home, and that's it. So another one here. Oh, that one just needs a little bit of jiggling up. Look. And then in again. One at the back here, and there. And then finally one down the bottom here. So that's just got to go in there, like so. And a little bit of clip, and it'll go in with a bit of luck. There you go. Right. So notice that the liner goes on the inside of all this trim. Now this is the reason I've left this out. I've got this piece to put in first, so I'm going to keep this off until right at the last minute. Let's grab the rest of that arch there. So got to get these off, I think, first, and put them into the plastic piece. Right, so I've taken all those little fittings off and put them back into here. So they're all nicely ready to go. This one at the front was broken, so I've replaced it with one of my little rib ones. Just give it a tuck in there. Trying to do this one-handed. It's just going to go on like this. So should just require a bit of a firm shove. There's a bit of a gapping issue there, isn't there? But maybe that is normal. Okay, so it's sealed up top there, that's fine. All the liner's on around the bottom, which is good. Now I can push this together. So just give that a little tease. And that's the side trim pretty much complete, all in. We've just got to do all the stuff now underneath, which involves sliding under there and putting in them little pegs in these holes here. I suppose, yeah. Well, I'll put the camera down and I'll set it up on a better angle. Okay, so underneath the car we've got these, zoom out a little bit. Underneath the car we've got these little holes, 8 of them each side. Just take your fitting, off him up, just do the squeeze. Oh, it's got my glove. And once you get it to that point, give it a push. You can just tap it in. They're just barbed on. Now, just repeat that 8 times the whole length of the thing, and then we're at the back of the car. Okay, so now we are at the back of the car. This is the seal that we've been doing, so let's put a bit of light on that. Put the bolt in on this, so that that's now done, and this is now all in with these little clips that you just push in, like I just showed you. This piece is actually held in with a couple of screws, so there's a screw that goes in here and a screw that goes in here. They're just self tappers, so what I've got is just got a self tapper to go in, and well, we get the idea. Here we go, that's it. So just got a self tapper to go in here, and that holds the leading edge of the inside of the liner, which is here, in place, and also tags that with the outside of the plastic skirt, and then eventually also tags it with this little splash guard, which is meant to protect this area, I think. So I'm guessing this is why they rust here, because this was all rotten here, as you tend to remember from previous videos. It is just a big water trap, so if you do have a Mini, maybe this is the place to jet wash it out from time to time to make sure it's dirt free, because it's definitely a place where everything is going to get trapped. So right, let's do those up. Can't do that whilst holding the camera. Right, and so there you have it. That is now the back end completely screwed down at the back there, underneath there, all along there. The whole lot's now secured down and ready for an MOT man to come and have a look at it. I wonder if it'll go through. Okay, so brand new window regulator for the driver's door for the Mini. Now it doesn't come with a motor, so we have to take the old motor and put it into this assembly here. Don't want to touch it too much, so I don't want to move anything until I've got that motor assembly in. That looks like it's a sprung loaded mechanism, and as soon as I touch it, it's probably going to ping and disappear everywhere. This is the motor assembly that I have. Now this whole setup here, although it looks all very nice and shiny and what have you, was actually useless. I bought this brand new for about 30 quid on eBay, and I couldn't make anything fit, and I had to re-drill holes, and it just, yeah, it never worked. So this has got to come off, gingerly take off the motor assembly, and then carefully put it onto the new one. Let's see if I can do that without breaking it. Right, so let the craziness begin. All the teeth seem to be okay, so that's a start, isn't it? Yeah. Right, let's get rid of that one. And here's the new one. So, just looking at how that's going to fit together. Now, as I've said, when I got the aftermarket one from eBay, I had to re-drill some of these holes. So now it should be in its original position, but I can't remember what its original position was. So it's something like that. I mean, this is the motor assembly here. I'm guessing that, and that. So that seems to want to line up with that hole, that lines up with that hole, so I think I've just got to push this gently. Okay, we have a slight problem. This doesn't seem to want to fit in there. This motor assembly is definitely larger than that fitting. So I think BMW have given me the wrong one. Which makes this a very short video. So that's plainly too big. Let's look at the aftermarket one, the one I bought from eBay. Yeah. Oh, hang on. Maybe it's just an alignment thing. It looks bigger than it actually was. Aha. Very good. And these 3 screws. Should I use the new ones? Yeah, be fine. These 3 screws go into here. So that was pretty painless. So yeah, that's pretty good. Right, I'll finish screwing this together, and then we'll try and put it in the car. Okay, so the door's stripped down, ready to go. I've got the speaker out just to make things a bit easier so we can see what we're doing. The motor actually mounts here on 3 screws. There's a mount here underneath the tweeter, and there's a mount here, and then there's 2 mounts at the bottom inside the door. which you get to from the bottom. And you'll see that I've marked those shims there with some red paint. That's so that I don't lose my mark, because I would imagine that that would determine the angle of the bottom half of the window, so that might change things. We might have to adjust it afterwards, seeing this is a new mechanism, but for the moment keep everything as it came off. Right, let's offer up the glass. Right, so let's I didn't mean glass, I meant mechanism, didn't I? So right, let's see how this fits in. It's been months since I took this out, so might be a bit of trial and error to see how it fits back in. I think something like that, and then something like that would be the way to do it. Let's try it below. Up there, no, wedged. Go a bit further in and then twist it. A bit further in and then twist it. Right, so at the bottom there, the aperture. That's a good sign that the holes are starting to line up. So that's always good. And I've got a hole up the top here, which takes the top mount. So I think I might put the top one in first. Let me grab a 10mm socket. Hang on, let me find something to do this up with. So just a 10mm, and let's grab one of these bolts. Now in here, yeah, there's the plate there. There's a plate here, and then you want to try and find your out there. So that looks good. Let's get him in there. Obviously just a couple of turns just to hold everything in place. Now for the bottom ones. Now the bottom ones come in underneath and they have this little natty washer on, and that's going to go in under here. More of a feel it kind of thing. Yeah, I can feel it going in, so that seems alright. I'm going to nip the bottom ones because we've still got those markings on those shims, and I don't want the shims to move until we're sure that we're okay. That's good, because now all three bolt holes for the actual motor are now lined up fine, so that's good. And this nut looks like it's almost in the same place as the old one. So again, a good sign. Now just for the back of it. The back is exactly the same. So 1 6mm bolt. Get it go on a couple of foot, and then at the bottom here we've got to try and find this plate. If I show you the plate inside, that might be helpful, mightn't it? So let's move this light and let's have you over. Right, so inside you can see there's two shims that work against each other. I've left them there, and this plate just sits in. There's a bolt hole for it. It's just a case of bringing the nut in from underneath, or the bolt in from underneath, should I say. So just a bit of jiggery pokery. You can see it's starting to come, the head of it's starting to come through now. Now everything should be in the same position as it was when it came out. You look up the bolt here, and just do that one up. Give it a nip there, and it's pretty much in exactly the same spot as the witness marks on the old bolts were. Now, the glass just slots in the top, so that just drops down inside and then is held in place with these. Now, these have got a Torx drive on the, or a bit drive on here in the middle. I didn't do that because you couldn't get on it and it was really tight. I got a screwdriver and put a screwdriver on these flanges and just tapped it around gently until it started to break, and then once it was off, it was just finger tight. So as you see, it's got this like stepped bit in there which obviously attaches to the glass. Right, so let's get that in. So if I show you on the old regulator, the glass just comes down, slots into these little apertures on here, which have got a little slot on. So the glass goes in here, and then that nut I showed you earlier just screws onto here and holds it all tight to this car. I guess you'd call that a car, wouldn't you? We can move it up and down, which is connected to the other one. So in theory, it's quite a straightforward process. Just going to feel my way in. Okay, so I can feel that in the top of that sort of circular shape, and this side it's almost there, I think. Yep, there as well. Now, they're in, that's it in, but now we've got to work out how far back and forwards we've got to go. Be honest, I think that's pretty much bang on. That's the car there, that's the glass. Let's get these. There was something else that I had to do, wasn't there? Before I put the glass in. I know what it was. Before you put the glass in, there's 2 clips on the inside. They come with the new one. And that keeps the mechanism out of the way of the glass. So hang on, there's 2 matty little clips. Put it down. They're basically these, and they're mounted up here somewhere, and it just all goes through the middle there. We just sort of got some light. So they've got to come in over to the right angle there. Again, just sort of feeling the way. There's a hole, and then directly there's another hole. I think we're there. And that one. And so far, it's been the most awkward part of the whole procedure. Right, so that's just hooked in at the top. So there's the hole at the top here, and then there's one directly underneath it. I think, and the one at the top. And then just squeeze it, I guess. Oh, it's in. Bam. Put that little clip. Okay, so the next one. Again. There we go. Yeah, there you go. That one's in as well. I think the idea of it is to keep the wires out of the way of the glass. So when you put the glass in, one can't go behind, one can't go in front, which I think is what just happened a minute ago. Again, it almost drops straight in there without any real effort. So I can feel the so that's the hole. There's some sort of wiring in the way of the front one. Let's try the back one. Seemed a simple idea, didn't it? I can actually feel. You feel it. You can actually feel it right there. Success. See? Yeah, screwing up. Okay, that's that side done. Front one seems to have, I think it might be, there's some wiring here. Is it for the mirror? Must be for the mirror or something. Maybe if I was to drop the window a little bit now one's in, I could probably just drop the mirror. I can't, and you know why? Because I haven't plugged the motor in. Where's the motor? Where's the plug? Ah, there's the plug. It's quite a meaty thing, isn't it? Quite a meaty looking plug. That feels to be the motor. Where's the motor? That's the car. That's the motor. If that's the motor, then that's the plug next to it. Yes. Okay, so let's try and drop the window a little bit and see if we can make it a bit easier on ourselves. So that gives me much more access. That's the way to do it. Drop the window a little bit. Just going to drop it a little bit further. I think maybe if we go a little bit further down. Just gets it out of the way, this cross member then. Oh, that's much easier. Seems to be some sort of adjustment within it. Maybe have the window slightly higher. I would think you'd have it set to the highest point initially. Right, let's see if it goes all the way up. Right, a working window. Excellent. yeah, that's it. It's in. Well, that didn't take too long. It was some bits were easier than expecting, but other bits weren't. So just got to mount those 3 screws, and that's it. You don't need to see that. I'll put those in now.